Buying a gaming PC is expensive, so instead, I bought a $23 USB, and apparently this thing can turn any computer into a gaming system. No installs, no setup, just plug it in, and it takes over the entire PC, which sounds kind of ridiculous. So today I'm going to test this on everything I can find a decent gaming PC, a cheap office computer, and maybe even something that definitely shouldn't run games at all. Best case, I just built the most portable gaming setup ever. So, worst case, I just wasted $23 on a fancy flash drive. Let's see what actually happens. Basically, what we're doing here is installing the entire operating system directly onto this flash drive, along with all the games, settings, and everything else. That means you can plug it into any computer and instantly turn it into a portable gaming system. Of course, this device itself isn't a standalone gaming machine. You still need a computer to run it. But the real advantage is portability. No matter where you go, you carry your games, your settings, your save files, your entire system, all in one small USB. You can plug it into a laptop while traveling, a small PC connected to your TV, or even an office computer, and everything launches exactly the way you left it. And honestly, that's what makes this setup so powerful. Alright, no more talking. Let's get to the main character, Batocera. You've probably heard of it before. But today I'm not using it the usual way, not installing it permanently on an old PC like I did in previous projects. Instead, I'm turning it into a portable gaming drive, a fully customized system with all my favorite games, something I can carry anywhere, plug into any PC, and instantly start playing. Batocera already comes packed with a wide range of emulators for classic systems like Nintendo, PlayStation, Sega arcade machines. Each platform with countless games to choose from. Now, with RAM and storage prices going up like crazy, I wanted something simple and affordable, so I picked up a 64GB SanDisk USB flash drive for about $23. That's more than enough to store a solid collection of my favorite games. Of course, you can go smaller or bigger depending on your needs. The price just scales with capacity. So now, it's time for this $23 USB to do its job. First, we need the Batocera installer. I head over to the official website and download the correct version. Batocera offers multiple builds for desktop PCs, Steam Deck, Raspberry Pi, and even consoles. Since I'm using a regular PC, I choose the PC version. Next step, creating a bootable USB. As always, I'm using Rufus. Open Rufus. The USB is detected automatically. Click Select, choose the Batocera ISO file, and Rufus takes care of the rest. All that's left is to hit Start and wait. The speed depends on your USB, but overall the process is pretty quick. And just like that, we're one step closer to building a portable gaming system in your pocket. Of course, I also need to prepare my game library in advance, and you should do the same. It makes the next steps much easier. Here, I've already downloaded a collection of games from different systems, like NES, NES, GBA, Sega, PS1, PS2. If you're not sure which platform your game belongs to, or how Batocera organizes them, I highly recommend checking out the official Batocera wiki. It explains everything clearly, from system folders to emulator support. Now it's time to boot into the USB. Keep the USB plugged in, restart your computer, and open the boot menu. Depending on your motherboard, the key will be different. On my ASRock Mini X300, I just spam F11. The boot menu shows up, I select UEFI-USB. Then Batocera appears. On the first boot, the system needs a bit of time to initialize and set things up. Just give it a moment. And there it is, welcome to Batocera. I won't go too deep into the interface or features here, I've already covered that in previous videos. What really matters now is this, getting all the games and necessary files into the system, turning this USB into my own portable mini gaming console. This is the interface of Batocera, but what really makes it special is its built-in file management system. All you need to do is press F1 on the keyboard. This opens the file manager where you can not only view everything on the USB, but also access other drives connected to the system. The interface feels very similar to Windows, so it's easy to use with both mouse and keyboard. For example, here are the drives connected to my PC. I can go into my internal storage, find where my games are saved, copy them, then navigate to the ROMs folder on the Batocera USB, and paste them in. Basically, I'm transferring files directly from my PC to the USB, and the process is surprisingly fast. If your games are stored on an external drive, that works too. Just plug it in, and Batocera will automatically detect it. Back on the main interface, press space to open the main menu. From here, you can customize everything. Game library controllers, user interface audio, video network settings. The default interface looks a bit plain, so I decided to change it. Go to Update and Downloads themes, and you'll find a bunch of different styles. Just pick one you like, download it, then apply it in user interface settings. And yeah, some of these themes actually look really nice. There's one more crucial piece that many people often overlook: BIOS files. Inside Batocera, you can easily check this by going into Missing BIOS Check within the game settings. Certain emulators simply won't run without the correct BIOS files. They're essential for replicating the original hardware environment. The good news? It's incredibly simple. Once you've found the correct BIOS files, the Batocera wiki explains this in detail. All you need to do is drop them into the BIOS folder, and you're good to go. Now, let's not forget the most important part of the experience. To truly enjoy Batocera the way it's meant to be experienced, you need a controller. And this is where Batocera really shines. It has excellent controller support, whether it's wired, Bluetooth, or a USB dongle. Most controllers are recognized instantly, and setup is quick and painless through the controller and Bluetooth settings menu. From there, you can jump into system settings to fine-tune everything else: system information, language, and time zone display resolution, and refresh rate. But if you really want to push things further, head into front end, developer options. This is where you unlock deeper customization. Adjust VRAM allocation, enable FPS counters, toggle VSync, fine-tune performance settings. At this point, the setup is complete. Games loaded, BIOS ready, controller connected, everything is in place. Now comes the real moment of truth. Let's launch a few games and see how this portable USB gaming system actually performs. Is it smooth? Is it playable? Let's find out. First, let's ease into it with some classic Nintendo titles. And wow, the nostalgia hits instantly. Booting up Super Mario Bros., jumping through those familiar levels, collecting mushrooms, it really feels like going back to childhood. Then switching over to Mario Kart DS. Racing through tracks I used to play for hours. It's like being that kid again, rushing home after school just to turn on the console and play. Everything runs perfectly. Next, I move on to the Sega Dreamcast and jump into Dead or Alive 2. The combat feels sharp, fast, and responsive. Every move lands cleanly, and those high-speed exchanges bring back memories I almost forgot. Dodges, counters, and those flashy combos. It feels amazing. So far, the Batocera USB is performing exactly as expected. All my settings, all my games, everything is working flawlessly. Now it's time to test the real strength of this setup: portability. I plug the USB into my laptop, a simple machine I use for everyday tasks. Definitely not built for gaming. I hit F12, select the USB, and Batocera boots up. And just like that, everything is there. Same interface, same games, same settings, on a completely different machine. That's honestly impressive. I jump into a few more classics. Contra, a game I'm sure most of you have beaten at least once. Still as intense as ever. Then Adventure Island, bringing back that old school charm. Next, I try something a bit heavier. Street Fighter Alpha 3 on PS1. It loads quickly, runs at a stable 60 FPS, and feels completely smooth. No lag, no stutter. The integrated graphics on this laptop handle it without any issue. But when I move up to PS2 with Tekken 5, things don't go as planned. The game fails to launch and kicks me back to the main menu. Probably something I missed during setup, maybe BIOS, maybe configuration. But hey, that's part of the process. Mistakes happen. And just a quick reminder, if you run into issues like this, check the Batocera wiki or look up guides on YouTube. Once you understand the system properly, everything becomes much easier. That's the beauty of it. A little learning goes a long way. Honestly, one of the best things about running emulators on a PC is the sheer power advantage. Modern PCs are far more powerful than the original handheld or console hardware these games were designed for. And with Batocera, everything is already integrated, multiple emulators, systems, and tools all in one place. Batocera itself isn't new, it's been around for a long time, but what makes this setup special is the portability. This tiny USB becomes your personal gaming world that you can carry anywhere. Got a new PC? Plug it in. Traveling? Bring it with you. Visiting friends? Instant multiplayer setup.